Hey guys, thanks for joining us back out here at the Range Report. And if you probably saw a video we released a few days ago about the Canik Rival and how it compared to the SFX Canik that we have, you'll know that we alluded to the fact that we had another Canik that we picked up that day as well, and it was the Canik Mete with M-E-T-E. They don't tell me how to pronounce it, they only tell me how to spell it. And since I'm not from that part of the world, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. But we picked one up, and it's a brand new release, and it happens to be this one. This is the Canik Mete. We're just gonna call it the Mete for argument's sake. This is the compact version of the full-size Canik Mete, which is the one that came out just prior to the Canik Rival. They got so many different models that all came out within a close proximity of them. You kind of really had a hard time keeping up with them. This one has got most of the same features as the other ones do. Sights are a little different. This has got regular fixed blackout sights in the back, big dot white in the front. There's no fiber optic, there's no adjustability. I mean, yeah, you can adjust for windage, that's about it. It does have a plate on it so that you can pull it out. You have the striker fire indicator, loaded chamber bar on the top, so when you do have a round in the chamber, you get a little pronounced bump at the top so you know if you got one active, and if you have one in there that you see the little dot on the back, you know you got a round that's hot. I don't know if this one allows it. I know the larger ones do. You could take your magazine release and to change it from left to right. You could oversize it. Everything on this one is meant to be a little bit more streamlined than the slim. Even to the magazines. This comes with a 12-round magazine, which is pretty much a flush fit right there. And it also comes with a 15-round magazine that has a little bit of an extended base plate on it, so when you put this on there, you have more of a full-size grip to it. Now, you do have that little void in the back right here, and as every other Canik has, the trigger on these is renowned for its crispness, short, reset, nice feel to it. This has got a rounded trigger on it, has the little trigger bar safety in it. Different trigger setup than the other Caniks that we have. They're both flat face. So this is gonna have a little bit different feel. My interpretation of this trigger and feeling it is that it's a little heavier than the other ones. I think the other ones are probably in and around the 4.25, 4.5 pound mark. This one, just by feel, feels closer to 6 pounds. It's still a great trigger. It breaks really nicely. The reset is fantastic on it. It's just whether or not you like the trade-off of having a slightly heavier trigger for a much more compact pistol. Now, it's also worth mentioning that when you grab this, and I'm going to grab the other one for you, this is the Rival that we just did the other review on it. You would think that those grip frames are significantly different, and you look at them from every angle and you would think that the one on the Canik is much, much larger. And the funny thing is, if you take the magazine from the Rival, which is an 18-rounder, yep, they work in the compact. So if you want to carry the small gun 12-round magazine and you want to up your game from the 15-round magazine, you could always get yourself a couple of Canik 18s, and I think Canik might even make a couple of 20 or 22 rounds. I'm not really sure. The only thing you might want to think about is trying to figure out if you can get a grip sleeve for that so that you get a real full purchase on the grip. But we're going to run some rounds through this thing. We're going to see how it performs. I don't expect I'm going to be as accurate with this as I am with the 5-inch barrel models. This is more or less in competition with my SIG 365 as to try and figure out what to put in my EDC rotation for everyday carry. If I want to carry something with or without an optic. My 365 is now running both an optic and a laser light on it, so there are some circumstances where that's just a little bit too, even though it's a small gun, it's a little too much gun at some points. If you want to keep slim looking, well, not like I could look slim. Sometimes a little bit of a smaller footprint might be necessary, so that's why I picked this one up. But we're gonna run some rounds. We're gonna see how it performs. We got a target set at 21 feet. We're gonna set it out to 75 as well. And we're gonna see how this thing performs, and we're gonna let you know. So you guys stay tuned, and while you're here, if you wanna catch the other video, remember, hit like, share, subscribe, all the rest of that stuff. We really wanna try and grow the base for the channel, so if you guys would subscribe, send an invite to your couple of friends or whatever the case may be. Our whole point of view here at the channel is to give you our honest opinion on a gun, to let you know whether or not we think it's a piece of crap, because you're going to rely on it. You hear gunshots, a couple of guys with ARs running, so I got to work around that too. All right, now we got our target set up at 21 feet. This is our Canik Mete, Meta, you figure it out. This is the compact version. This is the MC9. I believe that's MC9. Yeah, MC9. I can still see. You got two magazines that come with this one. One's got an extended base plate. One's got more of a flush fit to it. 14 rounds on one. 12 rounds on one, 15 on the other. And as we did mention before, if you do have any of the 18-round Canik magazines, they fit in there too. So if you want to carry one of these as a backup instead of the small one, give yourself small footprint, extra ammo. It's a good idea. So we're gonna take a couple of shots at this. We got a 15-round magazine loaded up. I'm gonna take some shots. So one thing I can tell you about this one already is that it's got the blacked out sights, but you got the big dot in the front. And even though it's not fiber optic, it's not illuminated or anything else like that, this is the Canik Rival that we just did a review on, and that's got a fiber optic front, blacked out adjustable Novaks in the back, but I could actually pick this one up a hell of a lot better. So I'm going to see if that makes a difference. Shorter barrel but clearer sights, we'll see. I'm probably going to wind up upgrading these at some point to some, something that glows in the dark, some tritium or something like that. But for now, we're going to see what it does. Now, the one thing about the compact guns is that you don't have a lot of grip frame to it, so even though these do have a little bit of an extension on it, if I'm holding that in my hand, I'm getting 2 1/8 fingers contact. Now I have very large hands, so you might get a little bit more contact, maybe less. But for me, it's there's not a whole lot of grip there. So for me, if I'm going to be carrying this thing, I might be looking to get some grip sleeves for these. But for now, 21 feet, we're going to take a couple of shots, see what kind of group I can put together. First mag, I'm going to try and just aim for the head. All right, that's 12 rounds in. It's not all that bad. I actually put a couple right in the same holes. All of them were in the general vicinity where I wanted. I did push a few of them over to the left-hand side. I could feel me doing it while I was doing it. Like I said, there's nothing for the bottom of my hand to grip onto. But we're going to try it with the 15-round magazine, and it's, like I said, that's got a little bit more of an extension on it. It does leave a hollow for the ball of your hand. There's a little space back there that it leaves, but I'm going to see if this makes a little bit of a difference. So For this grouping, I'm going to bring it down into the 7 ring and see if I can't get it tightened up there. Now, while they're shooting, I can tell you that the trigger on this thing, like I said, is slightly heavier than the other Canics are. This one, from what it feels to me closer to 6 pounds, maybe a little lighter, 5.5, 6, where the other Canics are, 3.5, 4.5 pounds, in and around there. So it feels, it's just as crisp. It has just as little take-up, just as little travel, and just as clean a break and shorter reset. It just feels you got to pull a little heavier to break the wall. But other than that, it's fantastic. I mean, it's a curved trigger. It's not a flat one. But it is what it is. Now I'm going to run these in the 7. We'll see what happens. Well, it went a little faster than I thought it was going to go. So we'll bring this back. That extended grip makes all the difference in the world as far as I'm concerned. My grouping is substantially tighter, 3 inches between the 2 widest shots right there. Most of the holes, I got 5 outside in a 3-inch range, and all the rest of the rounds, 10 rounds right in, all touching. Makes a big difference as far as my ability as a shooter goes. Having a little bit more grip frame is a lot better for me because I have larger hands. Now the thing is whether or not this thing runs as smoothly with this magazine. So I'm going to continue to try and put some into that and see if I can't punch that hole open a little bit. And there we go, there's our empty mag. And we'll bring this back in. And yeah, as I'm suspecting, you get a much tighter grip with you have a little bit more grip on it. You have more control, more grip, more accuracy. It's all it comes down to. So, I mean, is it great? I mean, yeah, I can get the job done with the short magazine, not a problem. I can get the job done with the intermediate one, yeah. But using the big boys, that's kind of where the Canik shines. This little Canik, I mean, just shooting that, smooth. Really, really smooth. Nice, accurate. That big dot sight in the front, very visible. This does have a plate on it, optic plate that I can swap off and pull it out. Now, the one thing about the Canik, the small one versus the big one, so you're going to see a picture somewhere on the screen. I'm going to put the picture of the box so you can see what comes in it versus the other one. The big Canik comes with the standard plate that fits on there, and then you got 4 additional plates that come with it. This one doesn't come with any other plates. It has this removable one. The case has got slots in it. What they told me inside when I picked this up is that you have to pick out which red dot you want and contact Canik. They'll send you the plates that you need for the red dots that you want. I don't know if it's a cost-saving measure. I don't know if it's something new. I don't know if that's something that's going to be happening on the rest of the Canik lines, but it's a little troublesome for me because in recent years, Canik has been kind of dubbed into the budget line category. And now that, like I said, they've grown in popularity, now they're growing in price. And between that, the economy, inflation and everything else, these budget guns are starting to become out of most people's budgets. This little one is 5 and change. That one over there is, 6 and change. There's one Canik in there we saw over $900. So, I don't know if it's them capitalizing on the popularity. I don't, granted, I don't have a problem people making money and stuff like that, but, it's, I remember when I was in high school, the average price of a new car was $9,000, and Hyundai came to America, and their first ad was you can buy 2 Hyundais for the cost of one average American car. Now there's Hyundais on the line that are going for $110,000, so take that for what it's worth. But Canik, keep your prices, more affordable. You'll get more people into these guns. They're great guns. More people would love them. Like I said before, if you guys can, hit like, share, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications for more reviews that are coming up. If you got a comment, question, or anything, please chime out, and we're going to respond to as many as we can, even the people that are very critical of me, my shooting, my accent, my fatness, and everything else. So until then, this is Frank from the Range Report. You guys be safe, shoot straight.